Hey, what is up you guys? You're here. Welcome back to yet another Lorcana video. Today I have for you yet some more gameplay, and this time with a special guest. I'm playing against AladdinsCastle. If you don't know who he is, check him out in the description down below. He's a cool YouTuber with a bunch of cool Lorcana related videos. I did some videos on his channel. If you haven't seen, I've been there a couple times already. But yeah, since we were recording one of his videos anyway, we just decided to sit down and play a game. Why not? And we're both being really stubborn old goats here and playing our tried and true decks, you could say. Me, of course, on Blurple, and he was a very stout Emerald Amethyst player back in the last set, so he's still trying to make that work as well. So we're both gonna put our decks up head to head, and he's actually had some pretty good results against some of the meta decks with his. Unfortunately for him, he has a couple of techs against those meta decks, specifically Sapphire Steel and Ruby Sapphire, you know, those item heavy decks. So he has some anti-item techs that won't help him very much in this game. But yeah, I will be playing actually a Blurple list that topped one of the recent tournaments. I've just been trying out all the Blurple lists that have been topping recently just to get a feel for them, see if they have something going on that I don't notice, and see if we can build an ultimate Blurple deck from all those ideas combined. But yeah, that's neither here or there. Let us get into this specific game. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe to AladdinsCastle. Thank you for joining me on this channel, and of course don't forget to subscribe to me if you enjoy these kind of gameplay contents. But yeah, so far some very recognizable gameplay. It's like, wow, did we jump into a time capsule and go back to the last set? We have a very quick opening from our opponent, AladdinsCastle here. Curse Merfolk into Trendbox Followers and Diablo. We do find our Tipo, and I do pop my followers on turn 1 to get a draw. I think I was looking for ink specifically, but yeah, I did think about maybe not challenging the Merfolk just because I knew the crab was going to come down and get the Diablo to trade. But then I thought, I'm just losing Tipo and I'm denying 2 further lore. I think I was okay with that. I also had an extra rabbit, so I was willing to discard it for the Merfolk effect. And I do get a lucky top deck here with the friends on the other side. I did play Rabbit first just because I thought if he's playing with Kit Cloud Kicker, then it makes more sense to drop the Rabbit first than the Genie, who he can bounce back like very easily. Also, in that scenario where I top decked the friends on the other side, I believe I top decked it, but if I did, I could sing it with Rabbit, and it made a little more sense. But yeah, our opponent does play a Genie of his own, but we do have the very classic combo from last set of Elsa to follow, so that our Genie and Elsa can both trade into the Genie and take it out. From there, my opponent does have another Genie to follow, so at least he's not completely out of this evasive standoff that usually happens between these two decks. Wow, it's like I'm getting whiplash. Like I haven't had to do this in so long that I've almost forgotten how to play it. So you might see some mistakes here and there, of course, because we don't really see much Emerald Amethyst going around much anymore. But yeah, probably on my opponent's side too, because you don't see much Blurple going around. But at least, you know, we've recently seen quite a few people top with Blurple. So maybe there's definitely, or maybe hope for this deck after all. But yeah, you will see right there my opponent inks one of those techs I was talking about. I don't even know what that card does, so you know what, I'm gonna put it on the screen right here so that you know what it does. But yeah, it is, I just know it's specifically against items, so not something he can use against us here. But yeah, he does play Lyle Tiberius Rorcure before trading his Genie into ours, before bouncing his Genie with the Fox. And then now we kind of have a problem with Lyle here. I do follow with Rabbit. I do think, so I have a Fox in hand, I believe, or I have a bounce. It's either a Fox or a Snake. I did think about bouncing my Elsa so that I could use this turn to replay her and exert the Lyle. I think that would have been the correct move. If I'm correct, I didn't ink that last turn, so I should have had enough enough ink to do that if I inked, I believe, something like that. I remember thinking about it super hard. You guys don't see it because I edited it out, but I spent a long time on that turn, but possibly did the wrong move there. But I mean, we just lose one lore, and we did deny the merfolk, so not the worst case at all. My opponent's going to go ahead, quest, and then bounce his crab back. His fox is going to lay exerted, and I think he just kind of wants to dare me into trading a little bit since he does have the Lyle on the field. But like I said, I did have the fox and the Elsa here. Now that I ink, I have enough to exert this Lyle and get him off the field. I'm going to challenge him with Elsa and the rabbit because the fox that I just played has rush. I could have turned it into the Lyle, but then we would have had an awkward trade into his fox. So I like this line a little better here. But yeah, things are looking pretty good. He's not very ahead in lore, which is always a concern of Emerald Amethyst, a very aggressive deck. But we are keeping pace quite well. We do see a new card here. Is it the first new card we've played this game? Quite possibly. But the queen is going to enter the field here right before I send it away with Hades. But no, it's a very interesting card. 4 costs, 4/3, I think, with the ability that you can send 3 cards back from the discard to the bottom of your opponent's deck to gain 3 lore. If there is a princess, it's 4 lore. Very fast card, and actually a really good Amethyst card. I think Amethyst decks would do well to add it, including Blurple. As we will see in the future, there is a Blurple deck that has tried to do it, and I will definitely be trying it out as well. It has definitely piqued my interest, especially when you're playing against these item decks. You can send their items to the bottom of the deck, and a lot of decks have at least one princess. You'll be hard pressed not to find a princess, so for sure a good addition. But we will see. On this turn, it was a little scary because I wasn't going to have the win on the next turn until I top decked this Elsa, and the Elsa I think saved me a little bit. With it, I can exert 2 of my opponent's characters, so that's 3 lore he's not going to be getting this turn. I couldn't target the Prince Philip because it has ward, but there's always a concern that my opponent has go-go or something like that. But with the Elsa, and I played a popsicle, popped it for Belle, that's exactly enough lore to win. So that was a little bit clutch there. I'm not sure if my opponent would have won without it, but it would have been a lot closer, especially if my opponent was holding like, you know, goat and bounce, or if he had a go-go or something, it would have been pretty close. So pretty good top deck, especially in this list which only runs 1 Elsa. It kind of scares me a little bit. I know a lot of matchups aren't great for Elsa right now, so I understand trying to drop in number for her, but man, just like running under 2 feels a little strange to me because I've always run 2, especially since she can shift onto herself. That seems pretty good to me. But yeah, anyway, game 2 here. Let's see if we can clutch it out. My opponent is on the play with that Cursed Merfolk. So much scarier on the play than on the draw. And then we follow with another 2 1-drops on turn 2. We do have our ramp on turn 2, luckily, as well. I do ink the Tipo to get the sail out just so that I get the followers out. And I opt not to banish my broom for draw there, just because I want presence against this aggressive Emerald Amethyst deck. But we do get a little lucky on my opponent's turn 3. He plays a Cursed Merfolk, but that seems to be it. So he either has a lot of 4-drop or like bigger cards to be concerned about. One thing I did cop right here is I noticed he's not questing with his Clarabelle or doing anything with his Clarabelle, which is just slightly suspicious if you ask me. So like when he plays Genie here and he's going to quest with the Merfolk, not again with the Clarabelle, I'm starting to get the inkling that he wants to shift that Clarabelle, of course. Like, why wouldn't he, you know? So yeah, with that in my head, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna challenge his Merfolk with my broom. That's because when I play the Elsa, I want to pop the broom for the draw effect. I think we have a stable control of the board now that I can go ahead and pop the broom for more cards in hand to try to look for more answers for any future cards. But yeah, my opponent here will challenge my Elsa before playing Go-Go to get that 3 lore. I've almost forgot about Go-Go's existence at this point, so I'm grateful for the reminder. But yeah, we're gonna keep pushing this aggressive game, or evasive game, sorry, as my opponent seems to be doing the same. with his Genie and Go-Go and whatnot. I do bounce back to Elsa just to keep up this pressure. Just want to make sure that whatever my opponent plays will get tapped down and taken care of as soon as possible. My opponent trades his Go-Go into our Genie before playing this Prince Philip, so that doesn't help. Elsa is not going to be able to exert this Philip because of the ward, but that seems to be okay. I'm going to go ahead. I'm just playing the Belle for pressure. She's a 4/4. The Lords for 2, so I can quest with her and also challenge with her if needed, and it'll be hard to get rid of. My opponent's going to hard cast or play without shifting the big Clarabelle here. Get to refill his hand a little bit, and we are going to Hades it away. It's a little too late at this point, unfortunately. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and trade because I just want to keep my board presence up. It is a little scary to have 3 damage counters on my Belle right here. Maybe it was more correct to trade. It's almost definitely more correct to trade the snake there, I think. But yeah, just because, you know, my opponent might have Go-Go. Like we see right there. So yeah, definitely not the right play. I don't think it matters at the end, but still more, it's correct to keep damage counters off. I kept forgetting about Go-Go because, you know, we don't see her very often nowadays, but good to keep in mind. But yeah, now that the Elsa I bounce back has use to do that trade, and we have too much board control at this point, I think. So that is going to be the game probably very soon. But yeah, no, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It is a little bit of a blast from the past, so yeah, you did enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe to both AladdinsCastle and myself. All of the links are in the description down below. If you enjoyed this video, we'll be back very soon with more. So yeah, catch you guys with more content soon, and we will see you later. Ciao.